Hello and welcome. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so sorry it took me so long, but this is That Twisted Dreams, I'm T Dreams, and this is the mystery of Woolly Mountain, the interview. Okay. Once again, I apologize so much on how late this game is, or this interview is. Mostly I apologize to Lightfoot Brothers because they have been waiting for this, and they have been really amazing. In fact, this interview is one of my favorites. So I'm really excited to finally get this out there. Unfortunately, I've just had a lot of snowballs in my life, and I could really use this team to solve a lot of my problems. But that's not what they're here for. They're here to make this game and make great music, which we're going to get into in just a moment. So, I asked them. I asked the developers if they wanted to answer some questions for me, and they did. So, I got an email from James Lightfoot, one of the brothers, and he answered a few of my questions for me, so here we go. So, the first question is always a standard one, which is always, who are you, and what got you started? So, James answers, I am James Lightfoot, and my brother and I have always loved trying to make games. When we were young, we used to try and make games on the Spectrum 48K. They were pretty crap, and could barely be called a game. See Cars, the remix that is featured in Woolly Mountain. That is a pixel-for-pixel conversion for the Spectrum game he made when he was 10. We have YouTube links as well to little bits and pieces. All the links that he puts in here, I'm going to put up in the description below. So feel free to watch everything. So, years later, he says, I got the idea to try and make a proper game based on favorite genre, point-and-click adventures. I decided to base the game on the interactive Sonic ebook of my band, the Helmholtz Resonators. He also has a link to the band, so that's going to be down below. If you like any of their music, their funky music, you can go and listen below. Click on the link. By all means, support these guys. I love this. He also has a link to the book as well, so if you're interested in that, in the ebook of the Helmholtz Resonators, that's there as well. Feel free. Lots of plugging in this. Love it. Alrighty. So he says, my next protocol was to learn Unity, to actually be able to make a game. 3.5 years later, here we are. Now, funny enough, 3 and a bit years is actually around the average it takes for the most people to go from no experience to making their first game. So don't ever feel disheartened if you're taking a long time. Every interview I've spoken to, it's taken at least 3 years to get their first game out. So anyhow, my second question is, you mentioned this is your first game. What were some of the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them? He responds back with, I could write an essay on what I did wrong, and my initial backwards approach, but the main challenges were not researching or planning properly. Being a natural artist creative, I couldn't help but dive straight into drawing and animating things before wireframing everything and finishing the story first. This proved problematic, wherein I later needed to change something in the story that affected part 1 of the game. Also, I didn't know about the power of 2, so I needed to resize loads of art for the game when it was already placed into scenes. This was a massive headache, but I've learned so much that my next game will be as smooth as mustard. Touch wood. For those that don't know, wireframing is when you put everything out there first with just blocks instead of actual images. So you might have a block for a character, your block will move around and everything else. So it's the bare bones of the game without any of the artwork put into it, which is known as wireframing. I think he does explain that as well. But anyhow, question 3. what inspired this game and playstyle you choose to use to progress the story. Now, whilst he did touch on this earlier, this is one of my favorite parts. This is my favorite answer that I've gotten so far. What inspired him? Well, he says, my brother and I are in a band called the Helmholtz Resonators, playing psychedelic, crazed fuzz bass electro. And we would dress up as Victorian renegade time-traveling audio scientist gentlemen, naming ourselves with odd names. Garland Vanderbilt, Shandy Plates, Frithel Stockstone, Van Dam Loud and Clear, and Carlton Breezy. We created a world and made videos, books, and then a sonic ebook. This album was called The Mystery of Woolly Mountain, and was an interactive illustrated digital book with songs laid throughout relevant to the character, relevant to the chapter and narrative. I wanted to expand this world, and one of my dreams had always been to make a game, specifically a point-and-click adventure game, and that is how the creation of our game came about. Have you I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of fuzz bass electro? Sorry, psychedelic crazed fuzz bass electro as a genre. I mean, that's just awesome. I love that. Yeah, moving on. Question 4. I asked, what part was the most fun to make for you? He had a very short answer for once, which was seeing it come to life as I created it. But this was also detrimental to the creation of the game, as he explained in question 2. Because he rushed ahead and he put all the artwork in first, he didn't have the bare blocks. And that damages things a little later on down the track. So, finally, not finally, but question 5, I asked, what advice do you wish you had at the start of this game-making adventure? And this is where he says, plan everything out. In caps. All of this is in capitals, by the way. Plan everything out, finish the story, and wireframe the entire game first. Get your bare blocks in. Question 6. I asked him, after going through this yourself, what advice would you give anyone starting out and wanting to try their hand at their own game? He says, give it a try. You will learn so much. It is punishing and awesome fun. And your next game will be so much better through learning and making mistakes. Question 7, I asked, what comes next for the Lightfoot Brothers? Will you be focusing on this, or will you be starting your next game? Their response is, there is still loads to do regards to Woolly Mountain. Finishing all the promo, translating to new languages, sending out the rest of the Kickstarter reward. So if you're still waiting on a Kickstarter reward, like people were waiting on my interview with these guys, it's on its way. They haven't forgotten about you. Now, mind you, I should mention, I got this email back in the start of June. So that's how long it's taken me to get to this. And once again, I do thoroughly apologize. But yes, so Kickstarter rewards they've been working on that over the last last month, and getting all those out. But I have started planning my new game. Ding ding ding. And this time, I'll be working with an amazing artist. So, for those who want to share along in the creation of the game, and whose input will be included, join our Discord page link at woollymountain.com. So I'll put the link below as well, once again, in the description, just for you guys, so that you can join in and you can talk to these guys. By all means, I fully encourage this. Have a chat to the Lightfoot Brothers. They are amazing to talk to. You will have so much fun. I enjoyed my chat with them thoroughly. Like, just give it a go, guys. You're never missing out. unless you don't join. Then you're missing out. Completely missing out. You've got to chat with these people. Alrighty, question A. The voice acting. Was that done by friends and family, or did you outsource it? He responds with, the majority of voiceover is done by myself. 50%. And then my brother, 20%. The rest was made up of friends and family. I know that many say this approach of using friends and family is a bad idea, but a lot of my friends and family are actors or performers, or generally extroverts, so I thought it would be a good idea. In some reviews of the voiceover, it is slated, but in others, it is fully loved, so you can't win them all. Kind regards, James Lightfoot. Yeah. So everyone, that's the interview with James Lightfoot, one of the developers of the Mystery of Woolly Mountain. The music behind this interview here is some of the funky music, mostly at the title screen of the Mystery of Woolly Mountain, that you get to listen to throughout the entirety of the game. It's amazing. I like it. And it really makes it quite nice when you go to play through a game. Just to have some nice funky stuff going on. But no, I had a lot of fun with this interview. I had a lot of fun talking with James before sending him all the questions as well. And oh man. I cannot recommend this game enough for you. It's family friendly. It is amazing. Sit down. Like, if you've got young kids and you want to get them into gaming, sit down, play this. You want something educational? Yeah, go with this. It's entertaining. It's not quite always factual, but it is in the realm of fantasies, and it is great. And your kids get to appreciate funky music. And family friendly. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to call it here, and yeah, so all the links that I mentioned before, all the links provided to me will be provided to you in the description below, describing what they are before you click on it, of course, just above it. But yeah, also, I just want to mention, because it's only going to be available for the next week or so, I am currently doing a Steam giveaway for this channel. A little bit as an apology because I've been taking so long on videos and interview videos in particular. There's still one dev that's waiting for me to send him questions. Sorry, buddy. But all in all, I'm doing a Steam giveaway. It is on my Emberlight pre-release video, reviewing them about a month before they've come out. So I figured that was the best one to go with. That way I can keep drawing attention back to them. Definitely go and check that video out. The link to that will also be in the description below. This is going to be a very long description below, by the way. So, yeah, definitely get in there, check it out. Great games. Check this game out because this is amazing. And, yeah, by all means, guys, until next time, you have a lovely night. This has been That Twisted Dreams. I'm T Dreams, and this was the Mystery of Woolly Mountain.